we're gonna do it a little differently because we've discovered that 2001 had way too many banger movies to narrow it down. So we're just gonna elaborate on 2001 as a whole. And we will continue the segment next week the way that we've been doing it. But 2001 was just unreal. So we have to elaborate on 2001 as a whole because it was just way, way too many good movies to narrow it down. So to start off the list, we have Out Cold. Please tell me you've seen this movie.
I've seen Out Cold.
I saw it probably in my teens, and it's my favorite kind of movie, just like the stoner classic comedy kind of bunch of stupid friends that do stupid stuff.
So I do like the dumb movies. That's what I refer to them as. They're dumb movies, but they're not dumb movies. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the ones that were like stoner-esque and stuff, like some of the other ones on this list. And Out Cold's definitely one of those.
They're some of my favorite kinds of movies. I don't know why I'm so drawn to them, but they're such a comfort to watch. I could rewatch them so many times.
I just found those people so annoying.
In the movie?
So annoying. Both. Both. It's like, hey, what are you up to, man?
I think it's probably one of Zach Galifianakis's.
How high are you?
Movies.
How high are you? No, how high are you? Hi, how are you? Step out of the car, please.
One of my favorite scenes in this movie is they take Zach Galifianakis and he's asleep in a car, and they spin him around on the snow.
How the hell did they spin Zach Galifianakis?
He's not a huge guy.
Dude,
not in that movie. So
in 2001, he was probably pretty young.
They're spinning him in this car, and one of the guys is in the car, and he starts screaming, and he wakes up, and he's like trying to correct the wheel, and he's like freaking out, and then he realizes what's going on when he starts to laugh at him. Speaking for me is hard today. And he just starts to try and beat him up in the car. Or when they put he's sleeping with his pants down, and there's a bear that I think it's a bear.
I don't remember that scene.
There's a bear that comes and starts eating.
A bear that what?
Eating out of this area.
Oh! Ow! Shoot!
Dude, I love that movie. Then we've got an absolute classic, and if you don't like this movie, get out.
This isn't classic.
Joe Dirt.
This is iconic.
Yeah. Look at him, fellas. You crying, boy? You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Whamburger and some French fries. How about a Weineken? You little sissy boy! Def Leppard sucks!
Okay. Yeah. Joe, what can be said that hasn't been said about Joe Dirt?
Not much.
Just absolute classic.
Favorite line?
I can see down your shirt.
Dude, he...
Just...
The fireworks?
You're going to stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, Husker do's, Husker don'ts, cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser? No.
Yeah, yeah. When he's going off, he's listing off all the fireworks.
Zippity doo-dah.
Yeah.
Whiz bangers.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, that's such a classic, and it's definitely just one of those movies that has transcended time. Truly.
I would watch it tonight. I might.
100%.
No, I probably won't. Not with this list.
I could watch this at any point.
This list, I won't watch that one, but I'll watch one of them.
The next one is Saving Silverman, which I don't think, like, when it comes to, like, this genre of, like, movie, not a lot of people talk about
It
Saving Silverman.
Does not get the credit it deserves.
I love this movie.
I forget. Is it Jason Biggs?
Yes.
Jason Biggs, Steve Zahn. Is that his last name?
Is that the dude that played in Strange Wilderness?
I have no idea. He's the blonde-haired guy with the mustache.
Yeah. He was in Strange Wilderness.
I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
I don't know his
You
name
made an
either.
impression on me, but not enough for me to care who you are.
And Jack Black.
Yeah. Dude, it's perfect. I
Just-
mean,
Crazy girlfriend keeping him away from his friends. His friends come up with an elaborate plan to, like, try and force them to break up. And
Die, replacement friend! Eat this, fake Wayne!
and
Then-
she beats the shit out of them. Hey, enough of that.
I love that movie.
What are you gonna do?
It's another one of those, like, comforts. You just throw it on, like, in the background if you're doing something that you can kind of, like, tune in, and it's perfect. Off of the comedy aspect, going to, like, a more serious movie, Save the Last Dance. I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie in quite some time, but this is like a classic movie from, you know, back in those, like, the mid 2000s, especially, like, high school days.
Well, for us.
Oh, what was
days,
her name? Oh my God, why can I not think of her name?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna feel so stupid.
Just grab your phone.
I'm gonna feel so stupid when I see her name. Save the Last Dance. Julia Stiles. She just kind of, like, fell off the face of the earth at, like, around this time, I think.
Yes.
But I mean, this movie was great.
I need to make sure I'm thinking of who I'm thinking of.
From this movie.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't seen this movie in quite some time, but it's definitely a classic.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
I think I even watched this in high school, if I'm being honest. I think they, like,
I would
played
hope.
this in a study hall or something.
That would make sense.
I mean,
this
Top-
was one of the movies she was most known for. So
100%, yeah.
like she was poster child.
Yeah. Going back to the comedy, an absolute comedy classic, Scary Movie 2.
It's my good hand.
You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand!
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No! Get it away from me!
It's the most one that everybody know. It's the most credible that everybody knows to this day.
You gotta get in there and get the
The-
giblets out.
Over here, just the tiniest little stink hole, but it's big enough to get your hand right up inside it. Stuff the shit out of it. I cook it with all the giblets, the penises and the ginies.
The meme of the guy with, like, his strong hand.
Stuff it in there. Strong hand.
Grab my strong hand.
Use my strong hand.
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby.
Shorty, like the whole bouncing the basketball between their legs and stuff from the commercials. From back then, with all the squeaking shoes on the basketball court, David Cross in the wheelchair. Dude, I could quote this movie to the end of time. I think, yeah, this is the one where Cindy gets into the fight with the cat. Because she poops in his litter box.
I think I know why you're mad, Mr. Cat. I didn't mean to go poopy in your litter box.
She's like, I'm sorry I pooped in your litter box. And he perks and he's like, huh? And then he looks at the litter box and there's poop in it. And he starts like chasing after. And then there's like a big slow-mo scene where they're like boxing and they're punching each other and just spit's coming out the mouth.
Didn't she lose a tooth?
I think maybe, yeah. Oh my god.
That poor girl. That actress. I forget her name.
Oh my god.
She was portrayed as literally the dumbest person on earth in every movie she was in.
That's another person that I'm drawing a blank on their name.
Because wasn't she the girl from Not
Anna
Another Teen
Faris.
Movie too?
Anna Faris.
Wasn't she the girl from Not Another Teen Movie?
I don't think so. I don't think she was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Maybe I'm thinking. No, she wasn't.
Yeah, scary.
She probably should have been, but
Scary.
was she in American Pie?
No.
No. What else was she in other than Scary Movie?
She was in a lot of movies.
I mean,
I'm
she
sure
was,
I'm
she was
sure
into a
she'll-
lot.
I'm sure she'll be in a lot more movies coming up because she was pretty popular during these times, dude. But this movie is, if you haven't watched it in forever, put this movie on and it'll just be nostalgia to the max. 13 Ghosts. This has become a horror movie like classic, like a must-watch. I go to Monster Mania in Hunt Valley and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Matthew Lillard was at, I think, 2 of them back-to-back when we went. We didn't meet him because his line was insane. But I feel like a lot of people were there to get, like, 13 Ghosts memorabilia signed.
I've never seen that one.
You've never seen 13 Ghosts?
That's one I have not seen.
It's they're in this like crazy like architecture house. It's like glass, and there's like this basement that they can go into, and it has these chambers that these ghosts are in, and each one has like a theme to it. There's like the jackal there, and like they're like really dangerous, and there's a scene where they get like some of them get let loose. I haven't seen it in a long time, but they get like let loose, and that's basically like they're trying to like get away, and there's ways to like fight them, so to speak. But people have been like screaming to make this a series and do a backstory on each ghost, which I think would be incredible.
You probably need a whole season just for that.
Well,
Like
it
each
would,
ghost. Like
yeah,
it could
like
go
each
forever.
It'd
but
be each episode would be each ghost, and then it would be like kind of like a prequel to the actual movie. It wouldn't surprise me if they decided to make it a series and have it be a prequel to the movie, because people have been what's going on? Kiara Miller.
hey.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts as a series would be really sick to do. If they did it as a prequel to the movie, I think it would be really, really sick.
It'd be cooler as an interactive experience.
They tried that with Black Mirror, and it was not good.
No, I meant like really having ghosts.
Yeah.
I would love ghosts.
The following is a movie that I actually have never seen.
It was in the PlayStation. How have you not seen it?
I took it out of the PlayStation, and I set it somewhere, and I don't know where it went.
You're a piece of garbage.
But
That was my copy too.
Donnie Darko, that's Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Yes, it is.
But I know this is like an absolute
It's
classic.
amazing. So, and it's more artistic than it is like funny
That's what I've gathered
or
from seeing like a preview. And
anything
stuff.
else. And it really explores the depths of mental illness and really the abstraction of it too, like how it doesn't necessarily always have an answer. So the premise is, this boy is having hallucinations and sleepwalking, and he starts to really just kind of dissociate from reality. That was enough to get rid of that person. As he progresses through the movie, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that watches this, but he starts to get progressively worse. And it's very paradoxical in as he gets worse, certain things happen that line up. He meets a girl. And
Is it like a thriller like type of movie, or is it kind of like
to a degree? I mean, you could argue that it's thriller, because there are points where it's like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But it's really more of a mind fuck than anything.
Interesting.
And it's perfect. So I forget what her name is, but it was also another famous actress that played his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And they get into it in the kitchen in an argument, and it's total teenage argument, like just throwing the most random stuff you could.
They probably left because I said that I've never seen Donnie Darko.
Patrick Swayze is in it.
Wait, really?
You guys a cameo? Yes.
Interesting.
Because there's this one part, like they're in school and they're in that class, where like that class.
Yeah.
Like
that class, huh?
No, the one where you're like, it's sensitivity based.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta watch it.
Another Jake Gyllenhaal movie is on this list. Bubble Boy. Wait,
Boy.
that was Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was Jake Gyllenhaal.
I ain't not seen that.
You never seen Bubble Boy?
Nope.
Where he's like, if he gets out of it, he gets sick or whatever, and he's just in this bubble, and it's just him like trying to navigate the world in the bubble. It's pretty comical. Another movie that I haven't seen for a long time.
I saw a video where somebody was in one of those blow up bubbles that got hit by a car and they wound up in a tree.
That's basically what he's in that movie.
Have you ever been in one of those?
No.
I was in one for the baseball, like those intermission things they do between innings. They have a bubble battle with two people.
Yeah, no. So, I'm not doing that.
AZ did it too. We need to get you up there to do that.
No, thank you. Another comedy just gem. Absolute gold. Super Troopers.
Dude.
Another one that's just an absolute masterpiece of comedy.
It really is. Unfortunately, every time I hear the name of the movie, I can't help but think about the song by the 18s and ABBA, because the 18s were just an ABBA ripoff. Albeit they looked a lot better than ABBA ever did, but I wasn't alive when ABBA was that age, so...
Every time I see like anything about Super Troopers, there's two things that come to mind immediately. It's when he's in the car, he's like, I hope you boys like Mexico! Woo! When he starts doing donuts.
Hello.
You boys like Mexico? Yeah!
And where he's like, I'm freaking out, man. And they look at him, you are freaking out, man.
I'm freaking out, man. You are freaking out, man.
And of course, the classic, they try and say meow as many times as possible during the when they pull people over.
Am I saying meow?
I thought.
Don't think, boy. Now, do you know how fast you were going? Now, what is so damn funny?
That's one of the scenes from that movie. That's just, dude. That
Do
whole
I like
movie.
math?
That whole movie is just pure gold. Oh my goddamn liter of cola.
Oh, it was a year ago. That's right. We already covered it.
What?
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
I saw a clip from that this weekend where it's like, hey, honey, can you come up off the street so you don't get hit by a car? Or whatever he says. And she's just like, fuck off. He's like, whoa, jeez. Ah! And then next thing you know, she's in the damn fountain.
Another one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, God.
How High. This movie I could watch over and over and over again, and it never ever gets old. Method Man, Redman.
I was gonna clean my room.
That's
but then I got
that's
high.
Afro
I know
Man.
that's Afro Man.
Which he's playing in Red Lion.
Where?
Right down the road.
Where?
That double
At Double Barrel.
Double Barrel.
And they have Afro. When?
I think it's soon.
Like tonight?
No. It's soon, I think. We'll have to look at it after this. But
I never get to go to the good shit.
This is me and my friend Andrew used to like quote this movie constantly. It's so good at being like an absolute stoner comedy. Like literally Method Man's character is into like growing weed. That's he like everybody goes to him for the weed, and the best one was like this dude comes and he knocks on his door and he has like a little slide door that he opens, and he opens it and he's like, oh man, and like this crazy like tweaker came and he's just like, I made something for my head, man. And he's like, man, your head is fucked up. And then he's like, I need something, man. And he's like, no, you ain't getting anything. And he bashes his head in the fucking door.
So if those two, like if those characters actually existed, and they were, back then they were them. Today's world, they would be mind blown because there's literally one of them on every corner.
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, we don't give a shit anymore.
When the whole premise of the movie is like they're going to college, and his buddy dies, and he takes his remains and he crushes him up, and he puts them on a plant and grows it. They call it the ivory, and when they smoke it, he can see him, and he's really smart. So
Don't do that, by the way.
So he can give him all the answers to like the tests in college, so they can just kind of slack off. And there's a scene where when Method Man and Redman like actually meet in the movie, they're showing up to take their THCs. That's what the college things are called. And Redman comes in and he farts in his car and turns on like the defrosters, and all of his shit flies everywhere. And then Method Man shows up and he doesn't have a blunt. So Method Man like looks over at him and he goes,
Got blunt?
Got weed?
and then they get together and they smoke it, and he goes to pass it to his buddy in the back, and he drops it, and he goes, man, who you passing that to? And he goes, that dude in the back. And Method Man's just like, oh, that's just ivory. And then it hits him like, wait a minute. And he looks back and he starts freaking out. And then he's talking to Ivory, and you see Redman in the background, and he's running past. He's like, I'm a ghost. And he runs into the car, and he's like, what you doing, man? And he's like, I thought I could go through the car. And he's like, nah, man, you're not a ghost. Dude, it's such a classic movie. I love it so much. Cypress Hill did a lot of the soundtrack to it. It's absolute classic movie. I one of my favorites of all time. Another bona fide classic, of course. Dude, I feel like 95% of this list is mainly comedies, but they're the best comedies. Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, Jake.
Doesn't her dad always calls her like the most perverted names. He calls her like pumpkin tits and stuff. This is basically the spoof of She's All That. Yeah. It's the spoof of She's All That, and dude, is this the
dude
when they're the kids the younger kids are singing and the guy's like, I just jerked off and you're French toast. that's what this
is that this
from.
movie?
Yeah.
True love is what I want the most. I just jerked off in your French toast.
The girl's little brother and his friends, they're trying to get laid. Like they're making like the pact to get laid, basically making fun of American Pie, how they make the pact to get
Me want American woman.
And I love when they're in the, I don't know why this quote sticks out to me because it's the most random one. When they're in the vent trying to get to the girl's bathroom and the kid's like,
and she's shitting.
They're playing
she's just he's like, oh.
Girl going pee-pee, not something I want to see. When they're up in the vent, he's like, hey, look, a buffalo nickel. I don't know why that comes to mind, but
that
dude,
scene with Jake and Catherine, and you had the other guy in the corner. It says his name's Malik.
Does he have the bag?
Where
and
he's like,
always filming.
Damn.
Oh
shit. Yeah. That is whack.
Yeah.
And say things like, damn, shit, and that is whack.
Yeah, because he's like the token black guy, basically, and that he's very self-aware.
It's my mother.
You have her eyes.
Oh God.
I don't know whether to say it or not.
Well, let me approve it first.
Practicing for cheerleading.
Oh, that's the cheerleader that comes in that has Tourette's. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Shit! I'm sorry. That was my Tourette's.
I don't know about her.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna get our asses canceled.
You'd be the one, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, this is a dude. It's so funny.
And the part where she's like, oh, wait, no, was that?
It's like this is like a combination of like spoofs on the typical movie. Like it's like American Pie, She's All That, Bring It On.
It was Scary Movie where he where she was on the ceiling, right? Or was that this one? That wasn't this one. That was Scary Movie.
Where she's getting banged out by the ghost.
No.
And he looks at her underwear and it's like Wednesday and he looks and it's like Saturday and he's like, what? Is that what you're thinking of?
Dude, these were so funny that I don't even have to see them to laugh
Or
at
are you
it.
thinking of...
I'm thinking about dude that like plastered her to the ceiling.
Oh, and he gets all skinny. Yeah, that's Scary Movie. I don't think that's this one though. I think that's the first one.
And the black guy at the party, where he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be the only black guy at this party."
Oh, and they're like, he's like, "No, I'll leave," and he's like, "No, you can stay. I'll leave."
How did they get away with that shit?
Because it was 2001. like this is the kind of comedy that I like, the kind of movie that I like. Is like the one that pushes the envelope. It's self-aware. It's making fun of itself. It's not taking itself seriously.
That was it,
And
though.
it's
Like,
just,
nobody
like-
cared because they all were okay with each other.
Yeah, it's so classic. And then this is probably one of my favorite ones on this list.
Who joined us? I'm still crying.
Freddie Got Fingered.
Dude, I literally just spent like 5 minutes dying over it.
Dude, this movie is so damn funny.
It's so raunchy, but it's so
raunchy,
funny.
It's so random, and just it makes you feel so uncomfortable at times.
Well, and Tom Green, like, specifically said in an interview, yo, there was worse stuff that I should have pushed to keep in. It's like, whoa, you want to keep that? How much worse can you get? You literally, like, emasculated an elephant towards your father.
There's so many like quotable things from this movie. One of my favorite is the one that we just watched before we started, where he's in the shower in the scuba gear and he's got the soap on a rope.
What the fuck is going on? I'm underwater. Look, I found a treasure. A treasure? That's soap on a rope. Pretending it's a treasure. Get out of my goddamn scuba gear, you imbecile! Oh no, the treasure!
He drops it in the toilet and he's like, "Oh no, it fell into the underwater cave!" And he puts the air in his mouth, dives into the toilet. He drops it in the toilet and he's like, "Oh no, it fell into the underwater cave!" And he puts the air in his mouth, dives into the toilet. And his dad pulls him out and he's like, "Get out of my scuba gear!" And he's like, "Don't worry, I got it. We're rich. We can live like kings."
Dude, yeah, like, so, I mean, the deer in the beginning,
Yeah,
like,
because he
he hits a deer.
He talks to the animator,
animator,
and he says like, "You got to get in the mind of the animal. You got to get inside the animals." And he cuts the deer, guts it, and gets inside.
He didn't even gut it. He just put it on him
inside the deer, and he's just in the middle of the road, just like.
And then he's at the finally gets a job at the cheese sandwich factory, and like
just pause right there.
You can put the cheese in your bum.
The fact that his job, like, I think it's before the cheese sandwich factory, he gets a job at that meat plant, and he's on
ding dong,
ding dong. And he's like, "Look at me, I'm sexy." I'm a sexy boy.
He's on the freaking conveyor belt, like, with the thing hanging there, and he's just saying ding dong over and over again, and then it bats into this Asian woman's head, and she just lets it touch her, then just like pushes her head over. And
so funny, dude. And part of me wants to think that when they shot that scene, they just went into a factory and didn't tell anybody. And just were like, "Here's the new employee," and it was just Tom Green, and he just did all of that. They shot it, and they were like, "All right, can you sign these release forms so we can put this in the movie?"
They probably didn't even sign release forms at that point.
Dude, it's such a good. It definitely is a movie that if you know Tom Green, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's so bad because that's just who Tom Green is. He's just a guy that wants to do the things that he wants to do, and he finds funny, and it's the things that other people don't find funny, but it is funny. If that makes any sense.
The relationship that he has with that girl is inappropriate on literally every level. Every single level.
I love,
but it's hilarious
when he's in the hospital room, and he's like, "I'll deliver your baby. Oh, he's sleeping. I'll wake him up." And he just starts swinging a baby by the And then there's the moment where the baby starts to cry, and he stops and he holds it and passes it off to the girl, and it genuinely is one of the only scenes in that movie where you're like, oh, they're actually maybe taking this a little bit serious. And then when he goes over to that girl's house and he's done beating her shins with a bamboo cane, she goes to undo his pants and he has the umbilical cord taped.
Oh. Damn it.
It's like, what? And she stops dead where she's at. And he goes, it's the umbilical cord. It's for fun. I taped it there for fun. It's just like, and she's like, I can work around it or something like that. It's just, and then like I literally watched.
Shaq made a cameo in that.
Oh,
with his mom.
He tells his mom, like,
you need to go out and you need to do.
You
can't say it because I already said the one thing.
Yeah, dude. If you've never seen Freddy Got Fingered, like, just go by the title, go and watch it because it is so just off the wall, weird, and you will. I guarantee you will laugh.
Yep, we lost him. If you're over 18.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Before, like, I could talk about that movie all night long, but the next one is Shallow Hal, which, imagine if they tried, like, this is one of those movies that's like, if it's a great movie, and it does have like an overall message in the movie, but off of first, like, 45 minutes of the movie, where he literally like judges these girls so hard about their looks and their weight, and then he gets trapped in the elevator with the guy, and then he goes out and he sees these really beautiful women that want to give him all this attention. When he, hits on them, and he's like, "Oh, hell yeah, like, I don't know what I'm doing," and then his friends see the girls, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Imagine if they tried to do something like that today. Like, people would have a conniption.
Well, the thing is that they are, though. Like, not Hollywood, but people that are doing reels are doing all of this same crap. I mean,
Get a beverage.
They're, like, reels are basically just short versions of old Hollywood where they're doing all kinds of inappropriate shit, and, nobody's really, like, canceling it. People might get offended by it, I don't know, but...
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like this is one of those movies that, like, someone would watch the first 10 minutes of it and just be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're making..." And they would just go to, like, Reddit or Facebook and be like, "I can't believe..." And
that's everything on this list.
Yeah, that's true. The next one we have is a pretty classic military movie, Black Hawk Down. It's not my favorite military movie of all time, but it's a damn good one.
It is good.
And followed up by that, it's Pearl Harbor. So these two kind of go,
Pearl Harbor was good. I don't think
Harbor
it was
had Ben
wasn't
Affleck
as
in
good.
it, right?
I don't know.
I think it had Ben Affleck in it.
It had Ben somebody in it.
Yeah, both of these movies are like classics in their own right when it comes to like the war movie genre. I mean, you don't get better than Saving Private Ryan, in my opinion. But these two are heavy hitters when it comes to those. I mean,
Black Hawk Down's pretty good.
Some of the more recent ones have been forces to be like American Sniper. There was another one too that we watched not too long ago that was really good. Lone Survivor. That's another good one. But these are some of like the classic like war movies, in my opinion. Then we have another one of my favorites. I literally have a signed poster back there of it that's signed by Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith. And I met Jason Mewes Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Shibby.
What?
Shibby.
No.
I know it's a different movie.
This dude.
But they should have used it. Dude, picture if they used Shibby in this.
No.
It would fit.
No. Then you wouldn't have Jay's Snoogans.
That's true.
Dude, it's... I mean, I'm a Kevin Smith fan, so I'm highly, highly biased with his movies, because I love them all. Even the ones that are, like, serious movies. The dude can make incredible movies. Comedy, serious, whatever it may be. Combination of the two.
The dude abides.
You gotta love Jay and Silent Bob. American Pie 2. This is the one where they rent the beach house, right?
Is this the beach house or is this the one in the woods?
I think this is the beach house. I think they rent the beach house
Yeah.
in this one.
Yep.
Classic, like, teen comedy. This is the Bible of teen comedies, basically.
I'm going to swing by Giant and pick up a pie on my way home.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what?
Josie and
Apple.
the Pussycats. This one's a classic. For some reason, I always get this confused with Coyote Ugly, but
they're a little bit different.
They're different, yes.
They're
but
very different.
I don't know why my brain just wants to think of them as, like, similar movies for some reason. But
Rachel Lee Cook.
Ooh.
What? Damn. Dude. Single biggest crush from the time I was like 9 until I had a girlfriend at 32. First girlfriend.
Your first girlfriend was at 32?
Yep.
I think someone fainted up there.
Is that your wife passing out? Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a classic.
No, she's and was Tara Reid? Was the blonde girl?
Yes.
Because they were like there was a play on the Powerpuff Girls, right? Like as a band?
I mean,
like the trio type thing.
I don't know if it was intentional.
And then they had what was it, Shanna Rockler? Who was, or was it the other one?
the other one.
Gotta look it up.
I'm trying to think. Was it the did she have brown hair and she was in a lot of, like, movies back? She was in Bring It On.
Rosario Dawson.
Oh, I forgot Rosario Dawson was in this movie. Oh. She was the bass player? Drummer,
I believe. She was Val.
Wow, I forgot about that.
But, yeah, Rachel Lee Cook, if you're out there.
And you just so happen to come across our podcast. Here's your man. We'll go to a classic kids movie. Monsters, Inc. Not my favorite. It was a Pixar movie, right? DreamWorks?
Yeah, it was DreamWorks or Pixar. I mean, those are the main two, bud.
I think this might have been Pixar. I could be wrong.
No, it was DreamWorks.
I mean, this is everybody loves Monsters, Inc.
Damn it, now I'm going to...
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
And Sully. This was an interesting, like, take on a kids movie. With, like, the monster in your closet or whatever, but they're, like, friendly. Then they made them go to college.
But they weren't supposed to be friendly.
Well, they weren't supposed to, but they ended up being friendly.
I mean, these two were friendly. To Boo, anyway.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the name was
It
Boo.
is Pixar. Okay.
It is
whatever.
Pixar?
Yeah, I knew whatever I said it would be the opposite of. Made
Yeah,
almost 600 million.
Wow. Wow. That's insane. I think
Immediately following September 11th. Came out on November 2nd and still made 600 million.
well, I mean, people needed the distraction.
Yeah.
But, wow. That's... I mean, this movie was massive. They tried to keep it going with, like, the Monsters University, and I don't think that really caught on.
No.
But this was a classic.
Still number 3 today on the list of the most searched animated movies.
Wow. So yeah, this one really
timeless.
Yeah. Then there's Swordfish, which
Travolta.
If you need to know what this movie is, if you're our age or close to our age, this was the movie that everybody talked about because you see Halle Berry's boobies in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's just...
And we're old as dirt, so...
That's just what it was. Sorry, but people were like, I don't know what this movie is, but you see this in it, so go see it. It is a good movie, though. Hugh Jackman, John Travolta.
Hugh Jackman, John Travolta, yeah.
Hugh Jackman's a computer hacker, and John Travolta is a guy that wants to steal the government's money that's just been sitting in a fund.
For context, this only made $147 million at the box office.
I don't think this movie was, like, super huge, though.
And
I could be wrong, but...
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show that people spend more on their kids than they do on tits. Which means our priorities are right, America.
Well, they might change now because look at how much an OnlyFans girl gets paid.
Hey.
Just saying.
I don't want to puke.
Yeah, Swordfish is a classic. It's I don't even know what like genre I would describe it as.
It's like Mobster.
Kind of, yeah, because
like cyber mobster.
John Travolta's like, like head honcho, and he's offered to pay Hugh Jackman, who has a bunch of debt or is wanted by somebody or something like that. And he does the job for John Travolta. He tries to cross him. He ends up crossing him. John Travolta does all this crazy stuff. He like lifts the bus off of the road with the helicopter, and takes it.
It's definitely action thriller.
It's a super good movie.
It's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of Reservoir Dogs, but
sort of, kind of. This movie, 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Have you ever seen this movie?
Yep.
Kevin Costner. I just showed Alicia the trailer to this the other day.
Really?
Russell
Brand?
No.
Wilson.
Man. Oh my god, I can't believe that I am not remembering his name. 3,000 Miles to Graceland. It is Kurt Russell. God. Kurt Russell. Kevin Costner. Ice-T's in it. Courtney Cox is in it. They're Elvis impersonators. And this is Courtney Cox in her prime. But they're
that poor woman.
They're robbing the casino, and then they get into it, and they cross each other, and it's a whole thing, and it's a really good movie. I didn't see it. I saw it for the first time like a couple months ago.
Moral of the story: don't screw your friends.
Basically,
over.
Yeah. This not the last one. The second to last one, Fast and the Furious. The very first Fast and the Furious, when they were good movies.
The dawn of what was an era and became
absolute ridiculousness.
Garbage.
This is a classic, dude.
Dude, they got like 10 of them now, right?
It's too many.
At this point, you could literally roll a pair of dice to figure out which one to watch.
It's too many. Way too many.
This was the good one.
This is the start of it. This is where it was actually really, really good.
2 is okay. 3 is decent.
3 was Tokyo Drift. I don't really count that one.
You better. Because he had a 69 Camaro.
Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift.
And then Fast 4.
Is that what it was called? Fast 4?
It was Fast 4, Fast 5.
I can't remember. But there's so many of them. This is when they were good. I mean, classic Paul Walker, rest in peace. And Ja Rule is in this one.
No.
Yeah, Ja Rule's in this one.
Is Ja Rule in the first one, or is Ja Rule in the second? Or is Ludacris in the second one?
Ludacris is in the second one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the fourth one was Fast and Furious.
That one was decent.
Not the Fast and Furious.
That one was was that the one where they drive through like the tunnels in like the desert, and they what's this guy's name? Baraka or something like that. Sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. The guy who like supposedly killed Letty.
Yeah, I think Letty's the one that dies in this one.
Because she was working for him, but she's not dead. And what's her face?
Braga, yeah.
Braga, yeah. That one's good. That one's still good.
Yeah, I really think that they signed Michelle Rodriguez out of this one a little too early. If you were planning on having 9 movies.
Well, she's still in them, I think.
The what?
Spoiler alert. She didn't die. I don't think.
That's right.
I don't think. She something, she got away in time or something. Yeah,
undercover work.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, the way they portray her in this movie, I'll bet she can do undercover work.
Then the last movie on this list, finally, I mean, it's been banger after banger. One of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies, Hardball.
I hate Keanu Reeves.
It's such a this movie's such a tearjerker.
I don't like Keanu Reeves.
Well, he probably doesn't like you.
I know he doesn't.
Dude, this movie's so good. It's inner city kids. Keanu Reeves plays a guy with a gambling problem, and he's deep in debt. He takes over a coaching job for, I think, one of his buddies, and the kids, end up changing him for the better. One of the kids, spoiler alert, gets killed because of gang violence, and the whole community base comes together. Dude, it's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
I think I'm coming around on Keanu Reeves, actually. He's almost 60 now, so.
No, now's the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting to that geriatric crowd. We're going to make sure they're okay.
But that was...
He's Canadian?
Dude, wait, what?
He's Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, does that change anything for you?
No.
Good.
I still like Keanu. I used to not like Keanu Reeves, but
I love Canada.
Now I'm just like, man, he's in a lot of movies that I like.
Maple Syrup's really good,
I think
too.
it's just The Matrix. I've just never got into The Matrix. I think I said that last week, but it's just something about those movies. But, yeah, I mean, there's no way we could have crunched 2001 into 4 movies, or else our honorable mentions would have been through the roof. So we just decided to go through all the 2001 movies and just elaborate on them a little bit. Maybe we went too far. Maybe we elaborated too much, and you'll hate this. But
I know I did.
What do you guys think? Do you think 2001 is one of the good years for movies, or do you think all these movies are absolute garbage and
dog water?
You'd have to argue with us. Let us know in the comments or something like that.